Well, this is something interesting to wake up to. It looked like we actually got some more information about Phantasy Star New Genesis over on the official website for a PSO2. And it looked like we're going to have ourselves a little Q&A as far of what will be happening, what we will be getting, and hopefully bring some solitude to some of you who were kind of very concerned about New Genesis, especially appealed to a PSO2 just coming out in North America and around the planet itself. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go over everything in the Q&A and figure out what should we expect from New Genesis. So let's get into this, shall we? And before we begin, I will have a link to the article down in the comment below, and you can also find it over on PSO2.com if you want to read over it yourself or go over some of the stuff that we're going to skim over here in the video, because if not, the video is going to be super long. So let's go ahead and let's get into this, shall we? And our very first question is, how does the system allow you to move between the world of PSO2 and New Genesis using the same account? And the response here is the world of PSO2 and New Genesis will coexist in a single game, which that there is a big important here, a single game. After logging into the game, you will plan to have a feature similar to the current PSO2 block movement, which will allow the player to move between each game. So, pretty much what is being said here is PSO2 and New Genesis is fully going to become one game, which makes sense with the whole remaster that coming to a base game of PSO2. And it's sounding like it's literally going to work the same way as the elevator system in PSO2 right now, how you change blocks in that game. Going to work the same way here, as in we are just going to have probably a brand new set of areas that will be exclusively New Genesis that you can then teleport to. Which in return, that means New Genesis and PSO2 will both be running at the same time here. So that means that remodel that we're going to be getting before the launch of New Genesis, it's probably going to be way more advanced than we originally expected, especially if they are going to literally have the game running at the same time here. That is fascinating to know how they're actually going to do this, and actually pull it off seamlessly and not be super jarring moving between the two. So, that's interesting. And with that, I guess we got some more information here that might elaborate a little bit more with the question of, we have been informed that the graphic engine in PSO2 side will be renewed. How will the graphical setting change? And the answer is that in order to be able to play as the same character in PSO2 and New Genesis, the graphic engine in PSO2 must be updated to be the same as New Genesis. For that reason, we will have adjusted the entitled graphic permission for the current PSO2. Please note that the current PSO2 graphical setting will no longer be available after the engine update. Moreover, since Direct 11 will be supported and the recommended spec will change, it may not run on a PC that does not meet the system requirement. We will have more details on how PSO2 will change its graphical setting at a later date, as well as we are still working on it. So yeah, it really sounds like indeed there's gonna be a way bigger remodel than we originally assumed. And also, if your PC not gonna be able to do Direct 11 or whatever the setting gonna end up being, might be time to start saving up to upgrade your PC, or play the game over on F1 or PS4 or wherever else it might end up at eventually, and also not counting next-gen stuff as well. This is very interesting that it looked like the game gonna be dramatically redone. And honestly, I was not expecting that. I was personally expecting the remake or remodel for PSO2 to just be more along the lines of like changing some physics around and adding some, more detail to character model for specific outfit. But no, that did not seem to be the case, especially with the whole New Genesis running as a distant block inside of PSO2. So, and speaking of character stuff, we actually got a question here of what exactly are the fashion elements of a PSO2 that can be used in New Genesis. Following the list of detailed fashion items regard vector information attained in PSO2 that can be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis. This includes all collaboration related fashion item and rental information. So right there, good for anyone that is heavily getting into the crossover stuff we are getting with Kamasuba, Persona, and whatnot. It look like you don't got to worry about that stuff being taken away because of copyright. So if you have them items, the item will still work for you in New Genesis, which is fantastic because some of the crossover stuff is actually some of the better stuff. But we also have a list of items here that will also carry over with outerwear, outfit, body parts, arm part, leg part, ticket item, registration info for baitwell, innerwear, body paint, hairstyle, head parts, accessory, emote, void, makeup patterns, tickle, eyebrow, eyelashes, eyes, and fate variant. So pretty much everything here gonna carry over into New Genesis. So that is fantastic. And from items, we move into what will happen to the duration and the fans of content that will redeem with AC and FG item in PSO2 as stated. The duration of a premium set will be affected and share between New Genesis and PSO2. There is also some exclusive feature available in New Genesis of why the pack is active. Right here is the interesting thing of being if you have a subscription and if you are someone worrying about moving over to New Genesis and mainly playing New Genesis, but you have a subscription set up for Baitline PSO2, you do not gotta worry, it will carry over everything fine and dandy here, right along with some information here that in New Genesis, there might be some new stuff that will be tied to premium that you can only get access to in New Genesis. So some say it can be way more to premium and also way more to some of the stuff for FG and whatnot going into the net game. In addition to that, using a character equation format, which when we're not aware, that is paying to have multiple character pat the given ones they give you for free. The duration of material storage, extended storage, and personal shop as well as expansion to character storage and subpanel are also shared between both games. So once again, don't gotta worry about losing your character or having to rebuy character slot into New Genesis or abandoning your inventory. You don't gotta worry about that. It's gonna carry over, so that is fantastic if you are someone who has spent money. But we do have a little note here of, however, please note that at the game system in New Genesis, it isn't inventory expansion, guild tree addition, and duration of offended map order limit and personal quarter use, additional mag, additional little butler do not receive the same benefit. Please be aware that they will still remain the same in PSO2. So that was a little warning to keep in mind. Some of the stuff we did spend money on at fall like in-game might not work completely the same, which once again we kind of figure out up for some of this stuff, such as personal housing, guild trees, and whatnot. So that is something that we will see how that actually change. And if you are someone who are paying for that type of stuff, how much is that going to be of use to you moving into New Genesis? So a little thing there that we need more information on as far of what is happening for some of the stuff you can spend money on outside of cosmetics. And speaking of cosmetic, we got a can of weapon, a camouflage attained in PSO2 be used in New Genesis. Yes, you can use, however, please note that if in a case of applying weapon category is not released, they will not be able to be used. So pretty much what being said here, if you have a camo for such as a odd weapon, such as like a dual blade or any weapon that might seem a little iffy, I get also like bow and arrows as example here. If the weapon category is not in the game, that means the camo won't work on that category. Lucky enough, a lot of camo will work on multiple categories of weapons. But if you specifically favor a certain type of weapon that's not in the game, look like your camo won't work. If anything, hopefully whatever weapon don't make the cut into New Genesis will be added eventually and everything will be fine and dandy. And any more so, if you're another collectible here of titles, we have a will title be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis. The titles will not be shared, just like other character growth. So if you're a fan of title collecting, just know they are not going to carry over into New Genesis. In return, who knows, we might not even have titles at all in New Genesis, which I get we will find out at some point. And another question a lot of people have is, we have learned that Masetta will not be shared. What will happen to my personal shop? There will be a separate player shop specifically for New Genesis aside from the one for PSO2. In a PSO2 New Genesis, a player shop and in-game currency will slightly be different for PSO New Genesis and will not be Masetta and will be used as a transfer. So pretty much what we are learning here in Masetta, it might not be a thing in New Genesis at all. Which in return, I wonder what the new currency going to be here, because if we still going to have player shop, that means we still going to be having some type of currency. What this actually translate to, I'm not for sure yet, and hopefully we'll find out soon enough. And also, furthermore, the item can be put up for sale will be limited to the item you have attained through content in PSO New Genesis. Duration of putting up an item to sell in a personal shop will be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis. So why here is another interesting statement. The currencies are going to transfer between PSO2 and New Genesis. So that begs the question, are we going to be, right along with that remaster that coming, also going to get rid of Masetta and then return transfer into a different currency? Because it seems a little odd, and also by the statement is, any of Masetta not going to be able to transfer, but if Masetta no longer around and they have some new currency, then it might. Once again, a little fusing statement there, and what exactly that means, we will have to see soon, hopefully. And then we have, will the storage for PSO2 and New Genesis be shared? And we have all storage information, including expansions, so if you have bought extra inventory slot, will, but the exception to the Alliance storage, so like if you're using storage inside of your Alliance, that stuff not going to carry over. And Masetta storage as well will not carry over as well here. Will be shared, and you will be able to stock and take items attained from both PSO2 and New Genesis. So pretty much outside of Alliance and Masetta, your storage will be fine and will be cross. Good to know that will carry over, but you know, Alliance and Masetta, that a no-go here. And then we have, will partner, friend, avatar, or your butler be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis? The partner, friend, avatar, butler feature does not exist in New Genesis, so they will not be shared. Which in return, why here is another interesting thing, because this also means that if we don't have our butlers, that means we can't send them on quests, and our friend, avatar, and partner stuff, that also means there are no like NPC party members, or at least not player-based NPC party members. I wonder how they're gonna operate as far as going into New Genesis. Is New Genesis going to be a lot more easier to do as a solo player without having an AI party or a will party? Or are they going to be angry more so for it to be any more so a co-op game? I guess we will see. That is interesting to see that. Sadly, no more AI teammate. And speaking of friend stuff though, will friend information be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis? Yes, it will be shared. You will also be able to exchange mail across PSO2 and New Genesis. The blocklet will also be shared. So you don't got to worry about making new friends or making all your old friends be added to New Genesis. Everything's just going to be there from day one. Will Alliance information be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis? Yes, it will be shared. You will also be able to communicate through Alliance chat across PSO2 and New Genesis. However, Alliance Portal exists only on PSO2 world, as well as Alliance Tree and Alliance Sword. There is another fascinating thing of something else that is getting cut from PSO2 here. So it looked like no more lion housing, no more storage, and no more tree as well. And from here we go into symbol art. Will symbol art be shared between PSO2 and New Genesis? Yes, it will be shared. You will also be able to create a new one. And will you be able to chat between PSO2 and New Genesis? I feel like they already answered it, but let's see. You will be able to Ripple chat, Alliance chat, group chat across PSO2 and New Genesis. Chat feature other than above, which include but not limited to a voice chat and limited to player within the same area / block, which is the same at PSO2. I was going to say, I believe that's how PSO2 is right now, and it is. So pretty much seem like the voice communication is the only thing getting cut back, but then again, it always like that, so I guess it don't matter. So nothing is really changing with communication, which is fantastic. And there we go. There is our Q&A for New Genesis and everything we can expect from it. Honestly, I feel like it did answer some questions, but at the same time, the question that got answered just in return made more questions. So hopefully we get some more information about this stuff as we go, because I don't feel like the Q&A was 100% verifying stuff, as in like, oh, okay, we don't got to worry about that anymore. Like I said, it just made more questions that I kind of want to know now. A little sad that it looked like my setup might be going away to Dodo and in the base game for the way it sounds. Say probably the biggest takeaway from the Q&A is learning that the game itself is literally going to be running parallel, like actually parallel, be inside a PSO2 and New Genesis of just being separated by an elevator, which is fascinating. I was honestly expecting it to be one of them cases of when you do the launch or actually with version you want to play. But no, it looked like you are fully going to be able to go back and forward as fast as you chain block as is in Dateline PSO2. So that is great to know that it's so easily to transfer between the two, but at the same time, that also means that the upgrade we're going to get to bait PSO2 going to be more extensive than we originally expected. I was thinking it was only going to be character models, but from the way it sounds, that's not going to be the case. That is pretty much my opinion of the Q&A. Let me know in the comment below what you think about this. Are you with me? Did it just bring up more questions than answer? Let me know in the comment below. And also, if you want to read over some of the other little details that I skimmed over, I will have a link to the article in the description, so check that out if you are interested. And also, while you're down in that area, make sure you do the like, favorite, subscribe, hit some bells, and of course, don't forget, I do stream here on YouTube every Saturday and Sunday, starting at 3 p.m. Central Standard. And by the time you see this video, when it go live, I might be live, and a good chance I might be. So, keep an eye for me over there. And with that, I will see you all in the comments.